In this video, I'm going to provide an introduction to using the Alignment Editor tool in Trimble Business Center. That tool is found on the Corridors ribbon. The option is here to create an alignment and give the alignment a name, put it on a layer. If there's an existing line in the project to be used as a reference from which to create the alignment, that can be picked at this stage, or the alignment can be drawn from scratch. I'm going to pick a reference line to tie into, at least at the start and the end of the editing. The alignment editor is split into three components: horizontal, vertical, and particularly for roads usage, a super elevation tab as well. In this video, I'll cover the horizontal and vertical operation. There's a reference start chainage value which can be edited, and a easting and northing for the start of the reference line that was picked from which to form the horizontal alignment. It should be noted that the settings button here goes to project settings, and within project settings, in the alignment editor section, there are options for both horizontal and vertical alignment editing as to which fields are active for selecting various things. So for example, line segment input mode, the default method is by segment length, but it could be changed to by end station. And let's make some edits to this horizontal alignment. At the moment, there's just a starting point and a straight line. That's the bearing of the line, and the length, and the coordinates on which it finishes. You can right click into this table and insert rows, delete rows, or copy rows. In this case, you choose the option to insert a row. Actually, I'm going to keep a line definition. The bearing box will set the direction of the element of geometry being edited. So with bearing, you can use your snaps to snap onto existing features or positions within the project in addition to keying in values. So if I want my initial section of line to follow the existing line, I can snap onto that and the bearing will be the same. So the length, again, you can click into the plan view to set the length, or type it in as I did there. So that's with the end segment option set to length rather than by end coordinates, which were the other option in the settings. So I can carry on inserting rows here and picking different types of geometry. So for an arc, I can go a tangential arc to the left. Again, can specify a length for the arc, because we need a radius. Let's pop in 100, and tab will cycle through the fields and update them. So I had another arc, so I could right click, insert row again. Let's have an arc to the right this time, same length, and we'll just see how that has popped out from the initial reference line and is updated graphically on the plan view. This time we'll pick a combining spiral. Here we can see the options that are available: line, arc, spiral in, spiral out, or a combining spiral. Just make this little short segment here. Insert another row, an arc to the right. This one a bit shorter, and we'll see this begin now to bend and curve round back. Again, I'm just going to keep these radii as 100 all the way along. Left curve this time, 25 meter length, and that's now come close into where I was wanting to tie into my initial reference line. The line instruction is still there from the beginning. We can click into the bearing box and just reset the bearing and reset the length on which to finish. So there we can see the alignment line in the horizontal geometries being shown on the plan view. So I haven't gone through all of the options, it's just an indication of how to populate the fields in the horizontal alignment editor. And at the end here we can see the line is 130.79 meters long in terms of chainage, and the easting and northing coordinate here at the end. The editing of the vertical geometry is a little different. Onto the vertical tab here, move this down a little bit. When editing the vertical geometry, it makes sense to open a profile view. There is an option here to create the profile view, and there we can see the profile and the grid lines showing the elevation, in this case at this zoom level at 2.5 meter intervals. And as I move the cursor along the profile view, hopefully you can see the marker indicating the corresponding position there on the plan view. If there are surface models that you wish to reference when editing the vertical alignment geometries, then it might be a good idea to create a surface profile, which will create a second profile but will reference the shape of the selected model. So pick the surface model in question and the alignment name, tap OK, and now when I zoom in we can see the green line, which is the elevation of the OGL surface along the route of the alignment. Profile view, drag up to the top here and release so that the vertical alignment editor below is showing. You can see that this alignment has some grade break positions along it, so just straight lines intersecting at the grade break chainage positions and at the associated elevations. If I was to take one of these, perhaps this one here at chainage 87.81, you can see when we click into the point of intersection geometry type field here, the various types of curve that can be applied in the vertical geometry. And for example, I could pick a symmetrical vertical curve, and then just tabbing will indicate which fields are editable for that curve, so the chainage position and the elevation and the curve length. So let's put in a curve length of 25. and the curve will be applied in the geometry table and also updated on the view. So some curve annotation is automatically generated when curves are present in the vertical alignment. So here we can see approach grade, departure grade, length of the curve, elevation and chainage, and there's a high point marker here shown in the annotation as well. It's worth noting that, like the horizontal geometries, the vertical geometries can also be defined, the properties defined in the table, by making clicks into the view as well. In this case, it will be the profile view. So if I select the profile line for this vertical alignment, the editing grabs appear, such as the green box here. When you see a green box, you can click and hold and drag the line, in this case the node on the line, left and right in terms of chainage, and also up and down in terms of elevation, and that will reset some of the properties there for the vertical curve. You can see the end chainage here is 129.75. Just look at the horizontal, which is 130.79 if we want to make those the same. Let's update that chainage in the box and tab through the fields, and that will be updated graphically in the profile view as well. So there's a summary of how the table can be edited for the various geometrical components to add horizontal elements, which can be entered either via typing values into the fields in the editor, or by clicking into a field and then clicking into a location on the plan view to set those values. Same is true for the vertical alignment in association with a profile view. Again, a combination of typing in values to the fields or using graphical manipulation to update the field content.